Hello, everyone. Welcome to another installment of Frank Gore Invented the Internet Fantasy Football Recap. Week 7 of the NFL is come and gone, and we are officially over halfway through the regular season of fantasy football. Only 6 more games to go to decide who makes the playoffs and who will be with Matt and Brian watching from the outside. Sorry for not posting a video last week with my face in it, but the league offices were moving, and we're kind of settling in. New studio, new facility here. Getting it up and running. I do, however, hope Matt watched the link I sent over to everyone last week, and I think he did, because he's still with us, even though he gave Brian his first win of the season. But stay strong, brother. Stay strong. So let's take a look at last week's scores. Your fearless leader, the Strawberry Seahorses, defeated Get Rick back on roids 82-72 after Sony Michel's 3-touchdown performance over the Jets on Monday Night Football. And of course, due to Patrick Mahomes leaving early in the Thursday Night Football game. But I think the rest of my team saw that and decided they didn't have to perform to give me fantasy points, so it was closer than it should have been. But I still pulled through. LOL Clinton Dix got his second win of the season over Chalupa Batman in a blowout victory, 119-63. Again, Brian is making league headlines, and yet again, not in a positive manner, putting up the lowest team total of the season so far. Pretty sure he had the previous record too. After that performance, I was planning to dig into Brian hard this week, but I decided not to. I was going to mention how depressing it must be week to week as a newcomer continuously loses, but I won't. I was going to mention that he is the Miami Dolphins of our league, but I won't. I was going to mention things are not looking much better for him moving forward, but again, I won't. I was also going to mention that he should start his research for next season, but I won't say that either. And the last thing I wanted to mention was Brian needs to pick out what he should do when he loses, but didn't want to talk about that either. Hasta la vista defeated Saquon these nuts. Oh, so look at that. He returns to his good name. But please make sure the rest of the league knows that he no longer deserves that name, because he has Saquon the nuts. Terrible team names in the meantime. You should know that for the remainder of the season. Anyways, Adam pulled ahead and won 141-135 with Philip Dorsett's Monday night performance. Let's Get Physical beat Without a Paddle and also took his floaties as well as his raft this week, crushing him 172-130. But Matt did win the side bet this week, so I guess he has a small kernel to ease him to sleep at night. Mostly on the back of Marvin Jones's 4 touchdowns in the game for the Lions. But just like the Lions, Matt lost, in case you guys didn't see that. In the closest game of the week, Julio Think You Are remains tied for first after defeating Third Down for Watson 95-93. For some reason, Amy decided to start David Johnson this week, even though most everyone knew he wasn't going to be a factor in the game. So a goose egg for DJ cost Amy that matchup. And in the final matchup of the week, Shake and Bakers squeaked by Team Johnson 96-93 with LaBelle scoring just enough more than James White so Ben could tread water and survive. So after this week, some teams are definitely separating themselves at the top and the bottom of the league. Tied for first, Walker and Sean both have a record of 6-1. Sean has been dominating with high scores each week, and Walk has had the least amount of points scored against him by 71. Adam is in sole possession of third place with the second most points scored for. Ben and your commissioner are tied for fourth at 4-3, even though Ben has the least amount of points scored the entire season. TJ, Amy, Danny, and Rick are all currently vying for the last playoff spot with 3-4 records. LOL Clinton Dix pulled in 10th all on his own with a record of 2-4-1. Matt in the 11th spot at 1-5-1. And again, I wasn't going to talk about how bad Brian's team was all alone in last place, so I won't mention that. Now, on to the Week 8 matchups. Everyone's favorite team, the Strawberry Seahorses, are projected to beat Turn Down for Watson 124-102. In the Battle of the Wannabes, Saquon D's Nuts is currently projected to beat LOL Clinton Dix 133-96, but Brett needs to get another starter in the game there. The worst team in the league is projected to continue his trend, losing to Let's Get Physical 126-115. L-Jack on a bye this week, so we'll see if First Cousins can pick up the slack there. Hasta La Vista is currently projected to give Julio Think You Are his second loss of the season, even with one player. Oh, no, he's got it there. Still projected to win 127 to 117 without a paddle, in a motor, in the boat, and any hope. It's projected to stop. Nope. Now he's projected to lose. He's missing a player. Projected to lose to Shaken Bakers and let Ben continue his win streak. But will Ben ever start his team's namesake or continue to waste a roster spot? And in a battle of 3 and 4 teams, Team Johnson and Get Rick Back on Roids finally face off. I think this week's side bet will have to be the loser of this game must get on steroids. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Speaking of the side bet, Matt won it this past week with a total of 8 touchdowns on his team, so everybody pay him. For this week, the side bet will be bet any one team's score that you want to. You can have multiple entries. The rules are $5 per entry, and bet the score without them scoring over the bet. So if you bet someone's going to score 125 points and they score 126, that bet is void. And closest to wins. So it's Price is Right rules. Tie break goes to your individual team win, then to your overall team score, and if there's still a tie after that, the win goes to whoever can jam a steroid needle into Danny or Rick first. With video evidence, of course. It doesn't count if Danny and Rick poke themselves. They have to poke each other. That's what she said. For those on the border of being in the playoffs, scour the waiver wire, pros trades, and monitor your lineup every day. Week 8 of the NFL season kicks off tomorrow night with Minnesota versus Washington. So, good luck, fellas, and Amy, and Matt. Commish out.